Hey! What's up, Twitch? Welcome to round 4 of the Old Cranky Man Collectibles Championship here at Game Castle in Ankeny. For this round, at the bottom of your screen, we have Daniel Seidl came into this tournament in 3rd place.
Yep.
So 2 buys to start things off. 1 round 3. Deck choice today, Team of Rhinos.
Yeah, this is a departure. I don't think I've seen him play this deck before.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen Daniel play Team of Rhinos, but again, he's one of these players that has this incredible range.
Yeah.
Super efficient.
Yes.
Very good sequencing. Top-notch player. I mean, came in at 3rd place, like I said.
We've seen him play a diversity of decks all extremely quickly, presenting information accurately to his opponent, and like you said, sequencing super well.
Yeah. We did see Daniel win a team event on the same team as Dieter.
Yep.
Feature match from last round. They won a team event and then also came in 2nd place at an individual event. Scooped the finals, I believe, because he already had the qualification.
Damon's win was against Daniel. Daniel's scoop to him because he already had the invite.
Yep. And AJ, top 16 finisher, did have 1 bye today, playing 4 color living in. This is kind of AJ's wheelhouse.
Sure.
AJ has spent quite a bit of time playing the 3-color living in deck, and now have the addition of the Furies, the Oliphants.
Yeah.
And in addition to Violent Outburst, and sometimes Monstrous Carabid. I didn't get a good look at AJ's list to see if he was playing the Monstrous Carabid, but every time I see that card, I get excited because it takes me back.
Ooh, we got a gemstone.
Takes me back to the old living in days. So, Team of Rhinos, really good tempo impression.
Daniel rolled a 4 to go first, and it was just like, whatever, baby, I'll just draw this gemstone line.
Really good tempo deck.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that, they love stealing the playback with the Gemstone Caverns.
Yeah.
AJ just going to cycle a Architects of Will here, land drop, and pass back over to Daniel. Daniel's got a fetch land to crack.
Both of these decks sort of totally comfortable abusing one of the biggest design mistakes in Magic the Gathering, which is Cascade.
Yeah.
They really messed up with that one.
Yeah, I believe we were just talking about this.
Yeah. The
Cascade has had a rules change. The split cards have had a rules change.
Correct.
And for some reason, we still can't get it right.
Yeah.
Free spells for days.
And now we have new Cascade.
Yeah.
Discover.
New Cascade. Here is a Steam Vents and a Ice in the upkeep. So once again, like I said, this is kind of this tempo mode that Team of Rhinos has. And using an Ice to cantrip and tap down your mana source.
Yep.
Basically time walk you.
Yeah.
Effectively what Daniel's doing here.
The deck, Rhinos has sort of 2 modes depending upon what's in hand. One mode is winning quickly by cascading into the Rhinos, clearing the board, and ending the game. The other is winning eventually.
Yeah.
We're seeing the eventual plan right now.
A lot of inevitability here.
Yeah. And AJ just playing a Shockland tapped and saying go. And AJ is on the play. That's the wild thing.
Yeah, AJ did not have a 3rd land there. Fetched after the Ice tapped his land down, and looks like he failed to make the 3rd land drop. So
it happens.
Daniel is going to fetch here as we head back their way. Post Malone basic.
Oh my god.
Here's 3 mana.
Is it a Violent Outburst?
It is a Shardless Agent.
Shardless Agent.
Shardless Agent, going to cast a Crashing Footfalls. Here comes 8 power.
AJ is, I think, fine with this, because if AJ can fill his bin a bit and then Cascade, it takes care of the whole board.
Yeah, Living End, typically favored, I think, here, in Game 1 especially.
They just want their opponent to commit, and then allow that commitment to turn into a board wipe plus.
Something that Living End has here that it doesn't have in a lot of other matchups is your opponent's deck does not have many creatures in it.
Yeah.
So the Shardless Agents, if they do get destroyed with a Living End, is basically all that can come back.
Yeah. And even if it comes back, the Cascade is on cast.
Right, so they don't get to do the thing again.
Yeah, blesses.
Unlike the Discover mechanic, Here, we fixed this thing. We made it better, except it's actually worse.
Just kidding. We didn't test it.
I hope somebody got fired.
Yeah. That's in a standard set. Just evoking.
AJ going to evoke a Fury here. That's going to take care of one of the rhinos. Fury's going to go away, and here's a violent outburst. Okay. We are going to go cascading. Oh, we're not casting a violent outburst.
Oh, he doesn't have the mana for it.
Disregard.
We don't have a green and a blue. And a red.
That's true. 6 damage going to come across here. AJ down to 11.
And, like, Daniel now presenting the beatdown. Like, this
Cycle in Architects of Will.
AJ really needs a red or a blue now. Like, if he draws an Oliphant, that'd be great.
Red or green is actually.
Oh, there it is, the Oliphant. Yeah.
Oliphant will be able to find it. With no third land, though, he will end this turn after playing his land drop. Head back over to Daniel.
It's going to be
Daniel
tight.
Has another violent outburst at the end of the turn, so this will put 8 more power into play. And that should be it for game number 1. So these players are going to get sideboarded, and we'll be right back.
RB. Hey, we're back.
It's time for game number 2 here in round 4 of the Old Cranky Man Collectibles Championship. These players have been grinding all 2023 to get their spot here. 32 players today.
You love it.
You are watching Daniel Seidl. Came in at 3rd place on points.
Yep.
Won a team trios with Team Dick Punch. Chris Dieter we watched last round. And then also made it to the finals of a single event.
Yeah, modern event.
And scooped the finals to
Damon DeBest.
Yeah, Damon DeBest. So, AJ at the top of your screen came in with top 16, so had by 1 round. Daniel won game number 1 with an instant speed
violent outburst. Damn.
So tell me about how Daniel sideboarded as players get started here. An island from AJ.
Super smart sideboarding here from Daniel. Brought out 2 copies of Fury. Not really a lot of targets for that in the deck that are going to do a lot of work. Took out all 4 copies of Dead and Gone.
Okay.
Again, not a lot of targets that we're not committing to the board directly. Brought in 3 copies of Endurance, which is going to be an absolute banger in this, especially if they go to cast they cascade into it. You can pitch the Endurance, like pitch cast Endurance, cycle there, and then you get the Endurance.
And then you
back.
get the Endurance back.
And then 3 copies of Mystical Dispute, which is, I mean, a great.
Sick. Yeah, sounds like taking out a lot of the more 1-for-1 removal style stuff, and really just trying to fight that battle on a different front with getting rid of the graveyard or countering the living end.
Yep.
So AJ has taken out 4 copies of Fury, 1 copy of Oliphant, 1 copy of Street Wraith, brought in 4 Leyline of Sanctity.
Which he didn't get.
And a Subtlety. So Leyline of Sanctity would be a way to stop those endurances from doing that specific thing. You just said a Waker of Waves is going to get activated here. Just go ahead. Take a look at the top 2. One will go to hand. One will go to the graveyard.
Yeah. And this is, while a more expensive cycler, it's the utility of being able to choose the card.
Right.
Like,
it's more card selection. Plus, it's negative EV because you get to put a card in your graveyard, which is exactly what you want to do. Yeah. So puts 2 creatures in the graveyard potentially for the living end.
Yeah. That's a Shardless Agent. This is really communicating to Daniel that he has another Cascade spell in hand.
The tempo play.
Yep.
From Rhinos here are going to tap down that Stomping Ground. Make sure there's no Cascades this turn. A Grief going to get evoked. I see a Flame of Venor, a Violent Outburst, a Force of Negation, and a Lorien Revealed, in addition to a Misty Rainforest.
What is the far right spell? What is that?
That is a Flame of Venor.
Oh, Flame of Venor. Yeah, that's the wizard one.
Yeah. 5 damage, draw 2. What is the other mode?
I believe.
No, it's not a counterspell.
Is this not...
it's 5 damage, draw 2. What's the other mode, Jeremiah?
We're looking at Flame of Venor.
I know you're in there, Jay. Back on Daniel's turn, he did take the Violent Outburst there, so no
that's
cascading.
probably smart.
Shatter, destroy target.
Okay, sure.
And then if you control a wizard, you can choose 2 modes. So,
Yeah.
Breeding Pool gonna get shocked in here.
Yeah, AJ probably just going for it. I mean, if he waits,
Daniel has a Force of Negation,
but he has to wait. If he waits till Daniel's turn, he can.
Daniel can cast it.
Oh, does he have 3 mana? He does. Okay, but like, it's forcing him to utilize all of that mana.
Sure.
Rather than.
I think you want to value.
Oh, he's casting it in response to the fetch.
I think you want to, yeah, and rightfully so. I think you want to value your key cards.
Yep.
In Living End a lot more than you value your opponent's way to interact with it. If they have a way, you probably just want to keep the brakes on until there's a good spot for you to cast it, like right now.
Yep. And this is smart of Daniel to cycle to fetch on his opponent's turn, because if he waited until his own turn to fetch, and like I know that's like correct parlance and Magic in general, but knowing that and being able to execute on that and knowing all of the positive reasons to do it.
And Daniel does
Flame of Andor
pitch cast the Force of Negation. They're exiling the
Lorien
Revealed, and then Flame of Andor at the end step is going to draw 2 cards. One more turn, and these Rhinos are going to come off of Suspend.
They don't have haste, which is
unfortunately
good for AJ.
Shardless Agent is going to get cast here.
How many
Cascade
copies?
trigger?
We've seen 2 copies of Living End now. Is there only a 3rd copy?
AJ has 3 copies.
Just 3. Okay.
Yeah, he did not sideboard any of them out. Typically, they only sideboard out the Living End on the play.
And there's the Force.
Hard casting a Force of Negation.
This
on the end
is
step
pretty
here.
much GG's for AJ.
So Daniel would have drawn that Force of Negation for turn here. So last card in hand is... What was that last card in hand?
For AJ?
No,
for Daniel.
For Daniel. I'm trying to remember what the contents of his hand were.
He had Lorien Revealed. He had a land.
The Flame of Andor, the Force of Negation. What was the other card? I forgot.
Oh, it was the card that he took. It was the Violent Outburst,
there's
right?
the Violent Outburst is in the graveyard. There's one more card in his hand. I can't remember what it was.
It wasn't a sideboard card. I would have noticed it.
Misty Rainforest gonna get cracked here. It may have just been another land.
Yeah,
you could be correct. Crashing Footfall is gonna get cast.
That draw of the Force of Negation off the top was hot.
Yeah, that second Force was pretty clutch. AJ thought the coast was clear.
Yeah, unfortunately for AJ, there are so many good, like only having 3 copies of.
Well, Daniel's ability to interact with the stack is so much more than a lot of the other modern decks.
Got another Shardless Agent.
There is another Shardless Agent, though. Again, this kind of goes back to them being able to play 12 of these Cascade spells now that Shardless Agent is legal in Modern.
Does he have 4?
Is so consistent.
Oh, he's just showing him the entire deck.
Well, this is how you Cascade, sir.
Yeah, you have to do it. Unfortunate that he's now revealing all of his secrets to his opponent. But, I mean... Oh, no, he has a 4th copy!
He does have a 4th copy of Living End. Interesting.
I am excited by this. Blake is unfazed.
Typically, the Living End decks only have 3 copies.
Yeah! But I guess the... Oh, my God.
Daniel just has it all.
Unfazed. AJ's going to end up with a 2-2.
Yeah, not looking great against these trampling Rhinos, unfortunately. Game not over yet, though. We still have quite a bit of Magic to play here.
The Rhinos are going away, notably.
Yes, his creatures will get destroyed.
Yeah, he's going to be...
The Rhinos will go away. The other Shardless Agent will go away. So... I mean, if Team of Rhinos is a tempo deck, then Living End is a control deck?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, sure.
We'll head back over to AJ here.
I've seen Living End cast spells with that art.
Well, like, I mean, they use their spells as tempos.
Yeah.
Living End uses their spell as a wrath.
Sure.
So
it is the least exciting mode of it, but sure, like the fact that
here is a Shardless Agent.
I see you have a Shardless Agent. I also have
Daniel has
Agent.
Tishana's Tidebinder in his deck. That's sweet. That's a card we haven't seen on the stream yet.
Yeah, that's a new one from
I put one in my Canadian Highlander deck.
And?
Oh, I haven't drawn it yet.
Oh, well.
I've seen it do some cool things on some streams, though.
Oh!
So here's a Force of Negation from AJ, that's going to exile.
He's just casting
Crashing Footfalls.
So now we both have Shardless Agents. What could go wrong?
Yeah. Well, they don't attack very well into one another.
They do. If you don't mind losing them. AJ has a lot of lands in play for a deck with checks notes 16 lands.
And we'll head back over to AJ here.
I mean, I don't think we don't have any way to rebuy the cast. What is it? The
living end. If he has endurance,
we're just casting the Sphinxes.
Okay. So when we started this feature match, I was talking about old living end, living end, and old living end was Jund colors.
Oh, sure.
And you played like main deck Blood Moon and stuff like that. And they've had all of these great blue cycling cards plus subtlety printed in the last several years. So Living End is not like it used to be. But I have watched the Living End deck, the old Living End deck, cast Street Wraiths, etc., and win the game.
Oh yeah. So it's different, but it's the same kind of.
You're playing a draft deck against your opponents.
Honestly, though, sometimes casting spells and
Shardless
attacking with creatures wins you games.
Yeah.
It's so wild that we've seen it before where a bunch of bugs killed a player earlier today.
We had Agatha's Soul Cauldron turn 2 Delighted Halflings into Grists in round 1. If you didn't catch that, it'll be on our YouTube channel later this month. That was
another force. Wow.
That was Wes versus who is the opponent? David Pound.
Yeah. That was round 1.
No, that was round 2.
Did he force a force?
Subtletied the...
He subtletied the force.
No, subtletied the shard. You can't subtlety a force, but subtlety the Shardless Agent here.
I thought he force of negationed the rhinos.
He pitched a subtlety.
Can you do that?
What?
Pitch a subtle... Did he...
Pitch a subtlety to a force?
He forced the force. Okay.
Ottawara going to bounce that.
That is game.
And that'll be game.
Dang.
So Daniel going to advance to 4-0.
Yeah.
Excellent
stuff. The ability to respond on the stack for Daniel really coming clutch.
Priority and the stack, they matter a whole lot in this matchup.
Endurance and force just doing so much work.
Excellent. You'll love to see it. So that is going to do it for round number 4. If you're hanging out, please make sure you follow the channel. We've got new content just about every week. Head on over to our YouTube channel. It's Old Cranky Man Collectibles on YouTube. There's a serious backlog. We've got 300 pieces of content up on there. So we'll be back with round number 5 here from Game Castle and Ankeny in just a little bit.
Woo, baby. See ya.